It's 11:11. I believe I'm live. Hello. I'm just going to adjust this a little bit. I hope you're having a beautiful day here. Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Julianne Duffy, and we're going to do our weekly energy overview, and then we're going to look at each day for this coming week. So I intend you're having a great day. I just realized my daughter made me coffee, so I thoroughly enjoy this because I realized she also picked the right state. We're in New Jersey. And I got my coffee in a New Jersey mug. So I thought that was kind of funny. I just realized that as we were going. So I was going live. So as people join us, please do let me know where you're from. Today I'm going to change the cards. We're going to use my Sacred Spirit reading cards. This is going to be for the overview of the week, which my daughter picked as well. She thought that was the appropriate cards. And then we'll use my Gateway of Light as we go through each of the individual energies. So as we review this week, the energy was that there was a lot, all that glitter is not gold. I feel like that's very much came up for myself, maybe for you, maybe not, you know. So it's an interesting thing, but that was kind of the overall, that there was a lot of things that weren't clear, and you know, it was just a lot of chaos, and I think that was a little bit of appropriate. You can always go back and watch it if you really want to watch what was happening last for this week. And so now we're going to be doing the reading for the week of, today's the 17th, so the 18th till the next Sunday, which is the 25th, I think, or whatever day it is. I don't know. That's too much math in my head at this moment. I might be a little tired. But we'll get started. We'll get into it, and intend that other people will join us. I don't know if this is crashing or freezing. If it does freeze, please let me know, and let me know in the comments. And if you do have any personal questions, if you watch to the end, then I'll pull a card for you. Sorry, I got distracted by a text that came through. I feel like I'm totally like that. Ooh, a little squirrel. That's my. Hey, let's see if we've got started. We'll see if we're stop repeating. Let's see if it stays stable. I went onto my cellular, so do let me know if this is a little more stable and if it does keep repeating, and then we will get into that. So again, I'm gonna pull. Okay, perfect. I'm back now. Thank you, Mind Mystique. Let's get into this. Okay, so what we're doing, we're gonna pull, and I've already pulled the first card, so we'll go over that again, but I'm pulling from the Sacred Spirit reading cards for this week. So we're gonna do an overview of the week. And the first card pulled today for the overall energy and what we're gonna be seeing, and especially for those that are watching and observing and being part of this, is mindful wisdom. So as I was explaining before, we see the owl who is wise and knowledgeable being illuminated. So it's and he's you can tell, he's in that illumination. He's being mindful in his wisdom, and I feel illuminated. I'm just repeating, but that's the best way to really say it. It says create inner harmony. So for the overall week, this is going to be super important for us, is that we're going to find those moments, because we're going to be probably pulled way out of whack. Like I was mentioning at the beginning, the energy weird. As I woke up, I felt weird and kind of pulled out, a lot of lack energy, and that is kind of the overall energy today. So if you are feeling that, that's normal. And as we come into this week, it's going to be very important that we become mindful of how we're feeling, what is happening, and become wise, right? So just become more aware of, is it really us, or is there a lot going on, right? And whether we're mindful of our own personal growth versus the outside noise. Hello, cool guy and Caden Roberts. Thank you for joining me. I'd love to know where everybody is from. That is how the week. So the week overview is really giving us this intention that we need to really reflect, I feel, and be wise about what we're seeing as we go through the week. So this is super important. So keep that in mind, that the overall energy is mindful wisdom. So it's really about each of us getting to more clarity for what we're seeing in our lives. So that is the first part of the message. Now what we're seeing, so this is the energy behind that. So this is what we're not seeing. So we're going to see that we're really being called to be more wise, understanding, really reflect and look at things. And then this is what we're not seeing in the background. So the background of this week and the energy that will be affecting this: astral travel, caution needed. Oh, that's so appropriate. So if you were here and heard anything of what I was saying before, this dream time recently, I've woken up and felt weird energies. Like I woke up today and felt this lack energy, and I'm finding out this is very much the energy that a few of us are probably feeling. So the underlying energy of this is we're traveling. We've got astral travel. Caution is needed. There's a lot of things going on in the energies around us. So it's really about maybe being being wise about when we're sleeping too, right? So taking that ability to, when astral traveling is usually what we do is when we're sleeping, right? And we're going and we're in the dream world. That's the idea of the astral travel. This can be in your normal day. If you can connect, you could definitely astral travel. I don't know anybody that has mastered that in my own life, but that's normally when we get that, right? So I feel like this is also bringing up the point with our sleep and our dreams, because that's really when most of us are astral traveling and being cautious and being aware of what these energies are bringing up. So it might be a really good week, if you're not, to dream journal and track the things that you're dreaming or how you're feeling when you wake up, and because the overall energy is about wisdom. So it's about maybe seeing and noticing what themes are coming up in your lives, in your dreams, and what messages you're being given. Because that seems like it's going to be, this is the underlying energy that's going to kind of stem us to want to review and reflect and look at what that means, right? And then the possible outcomes. The possible outcome for these energies of this week. So when we get to the end of the week, what is the possible outcome? And it is the dark night of the soul. That seems extremely appropriate to how I feel. Life brings new meaning. So this is really about us spiritually growing this week, for sure, and using the dreamscape as a way to learn. Like, it's like the end result is we're going to kind of go through, maybe there's something that's going to come up. It might be really in our dreams, some kind of energy comes up, brings it to light, and we have to deal with it. We have to go through this massive change, the light and the dark. We're going through this transition. It's not good or bad, but it is this deep transitioning and understanding that we're going through, and it's going to bring us some new meaning in our lives. Like, maybe we're going to see things very differently, right? Like this week was all about all that glitter isn't gold. So maybe we're already realizing there's a lot of things that don't seem the way they are. And as we're open to being more aware, growing that mindfulness in our lives, the dreams are going to bring to us more information, which is going to help us go and bring new meaning. So we're kind of maybe seeing things completely different. Like, so whatever happened this past week, this is going to help us digest to that next level of transitioning. And then our recommendation, so what we're being recommended to do this week. And so what are we going to do? Like, what does the divine consciousness want us to do this week? I love it. I love it. Align your universe. So all the wisdom, this is why this is so important. The mindful wisdom is to teach you what you need to do. You're going to be getting the messages that the astral traveling, caution's needed. To take the messages, but be mindful of it, because it's going to bring you to this point where you're going to have to bring new meaning, new understanding. And what is going to happen is when you're in alignment. So being in alignment with the divine conscious source, God, whatever you resonate with, is going to be the key. And this is always our key, but especially during this time, we've got to navigate the distractions. There's a lot of distractions going on. We were talking about that before. So this is really the key, is coming back to center, right? Back to center, back to alignment, and back to that connection with the divine, because that is going to assist you this week. So if you're finding that you're getting pulled out, you're learning things, you're struggling, maybe you might be struggling through a dark night of a soul, like you're internally tormenting with the information that you're coming across through your dreams, through the situations that are happening. the end result is going to be to work through this, make it through this, and with the most ease and grace is going to be aligning yourself in the highest energy. Align yourself with the divine. And if you don't even, if that's something that you don't understand how to do, all you have to do is put out that intention. Sit for a moment. It doesn't have to be very long. Take a deep breath and put out that you are open to get your messages. This has also come up in the last few weeks. Get your messages from the divine, but that you're also in line with the divine. So you're open to hearing, seeing, sensing, intuiting those messages, and that you are in full alignment with the divine and what the divine wants you to do as well. Like what your purpose is here, as well as that your own leveling up. Hello, Duffy. Thank you for joining me. So that is the overall feeling. So I'll do a quick review. We got our mindful wisdom. So the week is going to be about you're learning. We're all learning, creating inner harmony. This is the call for the week. Is you're going to get wiser. It's about creating the inner harmony because, you know, we got to get aligned, but that's the beginning. The energy of this week is really inner wisdom, connecting to that truth, the information, and learning from it. The background energy is that I think inner sleep, because like I was mentioning at the beginning, my sleeps, the energies are bringing things up. So this is also a little cautionary, but that is the energy behind it, is a cautionary needed of the astral travel. This might be bringing up a lot of different energies, ideas, thoughts, inspirations in our dreams that we might need to reflect on, actually take into consideration. Because the possible outcome is we are going to have new meanings. We're going to come to some new meanings, new understandings. You know, depending on how you perceive it, it could be very positive, very light, but it might be really dark, right? It's the dark night of the soul. It's kind of that mixture of both. So it's going to depend on who you are and how you feel about that, right? But the most important part is that you're being guided to align your universe, align with the divine, get in the divine flow. Trust your instincts, trust the divine, and trust you're being guided in the appropriate way. So that is our coming week. Oh, the weather here, it is beautiful. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day here. It's over 30 Celsius, which I think is like 90 Fahrenheit, out in New Jersey. And it is, I believe it's actually much, much hotter than it was yesterday, because it felt hotter when I walked my dogs. So that is our overview of the week. We are gaining knowledge and wisdom. We are leaping and bounding. The overall energy message we keep getting, do your work, connect to the divine, get into alignment. Oh, 45 in Dubai. Ah, nice and cold there, right? 45, I'm assuming Celsius. Oh, that's pretty warm. That's getting into your 110 Fahrenheit-ish, I believe, right? Okay, so that gives us the overall view of the week. Let's pull for each of the days and see what each of them really has in store for us. So we'll start with Monday, of course. That would be the 18th. And what is our message from the Divine Guides for Monday? And I am using, these are my Gateway of Light Activation Oracle cards. And so let's find out. Let's see what we are activating and working through on Monday. So what is our guidance? Again, these cards were chosen by my daughter. So Monday, this overlaps with our week. I can't even make it up. I am presence. Light body activation, accessing the divine within. Like repeating. Can I say, go and connect to the divine? So Monday's energy, you are part of the consciousness divine. The energy is coming up. This is a wonderful day to get wise, take a few moments. You don't even have to meditate for long. All you have to do is put out that intention. You want to be open. You want to flow with the divine creator, God consciousness, and that you're open to the messages because you are present. So this is really, I feel like Monday overall is stepping into the power of who you are as a spiritual being. And that's going to come up. Light body activation, accessing the divine within. You might even get a lot of inspirations because you're setting that intention to communicate and get the information from the higher realms. So this will probably reflect that you're going to get some downloads as well. And again, watch that dream time, right? Because that's the overall energy of the week. Beautiful card. I love it. I am presence. That's your energy for Monday, for August the 18th. accessing the divine, get yourself connected, connect to the divine, and find your presence. Beautiful. Okay, so Monday, all about spirit, all about the divine, all about that connection. Let's go on to Tuesday. I just threw part of my cards on the ground. 1 second. They really wanted to get grounded, literally. Wanted to make sure we were here and grounded. That reminds me, I'm going to go and take my shoes off while I'm here and ground while I'm here. Okay, let's go on to Tuesday, the 19th of April, or August. It could be April for how time works anymore, right? So let's go for Tuesday and the energy for Tuesday. Heart of Source. Oh, that's so pretty. I like that one. That one's really pretty too. All-encompassing love, unconditional acceptance, and serenity. So I feel like when we come to Tuesday, specifically what really triggers me here is the unconditional acceptance and serenity. Like this really cues me that I feel like the Tuesday is, we have to accept maybe some things that we come across. Maybe there's some of the wisdom that we are running through. Maybe there's a part of our dream and we're coming to this point where we have to kind of accept what we're learning. So maybe we've already come across something this past week, and some of the dreams and some of the energies in this next day or two is gonna really make it that we have to surrender to this information, this energy that we're now connecting with and seeing in this realm, so we can accept it. Unconditional acceptance. Because the problem when we don't like things and if we're not accepting it is we're fighting it. And the more we fight something, the more power it actually gets, and it actually almost brings it back twofold. So it's this balance of accepting it without, it doesn't mean it's okay, but we have to accept and surrender and then allow ourselves to decide how we're going to deal with it, right? So the Heart of Source, it's really finding the love in whatever situation comes across us on Tuesday. And it could be as basic as somebody's making you upset, and you have to surrender. They broke something that you really cared about, as an example. And Tuesday could be just that day that you have to surrender and accept it and find a way to deal with that may be disconnecting from the importance of an item, as an example. Like that also brings that energy. There's a lot of energy right now that we are to remove ourselves from systems and things that aren't real. And what's coming up with myself personally in my charts is a lot of disconnecting, like, from stuff and material things, and being okay to get rid of it, and that you're not less if you don't have things, right? That's coming up a lot, and it's coming up a lot for a lot of us in that sense, but it can be very different as well. So Tuesday might bring up that there's maybe just dealing with, like, I have to clean this out. I have to accept that this is gone and I'm moving on. It's going to be very much that acceptance, and then setting the love even if you don't like that situation. Okay, Wednesday. So as we come into Wednesday, the 20th of August, our energy for Wednesday. Shambhala initiations. I'm retreating to recharge, trusting the process, Dharma. So when we get midweek, Wednesday, it's going to be a perfect day to take a moment and just sit back and relax, right? I feel like it's just kind of that midweek hump, we call it the hump day. It's like that day that I wouldn't really do too much. I wouldn't plan yourself a too busy of a day, because it says like we might want to really recharge whatever situation that we've set that unconditional love to, that we're digesting, we're moving through. This might be that perfect day to just rest and allow it to absorb, right? Take that moment, release it, recharge, and trust the process. Trust that allowing yourself to release it is going to allow yourself to expand too, right? So Wednesday is a great day to just kind of step back, let yourself just flow with the day as much as possible, and relax. That's your guidance. Take a moment, get recharged. I love that card. I love these cards. These are beautiful. It's a bad day. Your stepsister, Hudson. Plus our parents just had a baby. Well, if you stay, Hudson, I can pull some cards from you and tell you what the guidance is telling you about it. Because it's really, how do you feel is probably a good guess to what the right answer is. However, we can confirm what that instinct is when we get to the end. We'll finish this week first. Okay, so let's go into Thursday. So Thursday, I believe that's the 21st of August, and our energy for Thursday. Arcturian light codes. So this one is evolutionary downloads, recalling power, future thinking. Oh, totally overlaps with the overview of the week, right? So we talked about that the background energy is this astral travel, which is the dream time. And this one's really talking about that by the time we get to Thursday, because if we've relaxed on Wednesday, we might be hitting it Wednesday to Thursday, maybe kind of Thursday evening to Friday night, where we're getting downloads. We're going to get some downloads, evolutionary downloads. So maybe it's just that something's going to click. Something we're dealing with, something that we're seeing, is just going to kind of click, and we're like, wow, this all makes sense. Why didn't I see it, right? Why didn't I see it? And recalling power, future thinking. Maybe we start to see what is the future going to really look like? You know, maybe it's giving you inspirations of where you want to kind of go in the near future. That's all that energy as we come into Thursday. And you know, it's interesting, I find it, because it's Arcturian, so it is not a non-human, right? So we're getting into these, is that there's been so many people talking about these type of things, and there's been so many people seeing things and working with energies and just knowing there's other beings outside of it. So I find that's really interesting. So maybe we're connecting more with cousins, brothers and sisters from other places in this universe that are divinely connected as well, that are going to assist us through this. But we're definitely getting downloads, and it might be through that sleep specifically, which seems to come up. So it'll be interesting to see how this shows up in your life on around Thursday. But the energy is look for taking back your power, you're empowering yourself, and that you are looking at the future and you're getting inspirations. That's what happens on Thursday. Okay, Friday. Let's come into the 22nd, 21st, I don't know. I'll just say Friday, so I don't mess up the date. We're going to Friday. And the energy for Friday as we come into the week, before the weekend, is Sirius Star Blessing. So we still get, again, other energies from outside of the planet. And Friday is a day, it says, yes, proceed, be seen, push through. So whatever is going on Friday, it's a yes day. So if you've got plans or somebody this week asks you to do something on Friday, do it, because it's definitely in alignment. It's a yes day. It's going forward. Proceed with whatever that is on Friday, okay? And you're going to be seen and get through it. So it might be something that first you're like, oh, I don't really want to do. But I heard her talk. I heard that lady, Julianne over there, said, oh, I should say yes. Go through it. Do it. You will not regret it, okay? So that's the energy for Friday is it's a yes day. So whatever that means for you, however that shows up in your life, take the reins and do it. It's a good day. The alignment is perfect to open up and to be seen as well and to go forward with whatever that looks like. Maybe it is letting go. Maybe it is selling something, because maybe that's part of the realization is you're detaching from something this week and it's time to just let it go. And it's a yes day to proceed with what is happening with that. Okay, Saturday. What is our energy for Saturday? I have been talking and working with my chatbot, and we were really talking a lot about Lemurian codes yesterday. So I find that interesting. Saturday's energy, Lemurian seed codes, embracing sensitivity, uniqueness, living with grace. So, you know, if we are, because we are being like the end result of what our recommendation for this week was, the overall from before, was to align your universe, right? So get in alignment with the divine. So if you're working on that during this week, going through this evolution of whatever kind of happens, sending that love, serenity, accepting it, take that day of rest, and then allowing yourself to go through the week and getting to this, when you get to Saturday, because you know, we went through yes on the other day, you are now embracing. You're embracing this change. You're living with grace. You're going to find that things just seem to flow even easier by the time we get to Saturday. What a beautiful, beautiful I love the Lumerian like crystals that they have too. So it's also sensitivity. So there might be something that comes up. Maybe it's your own, maybe it's others. Noticing the sensitivity and listening to it as well, because that's a very important part about aligning your universe. To be in alignment with the divine is also to be in alignment with your own being and who you are, and trusting your own body, right? So listening to your body. So I feel like that's also part of it, is like noticing the sensitivity, right? Like maybe this is a time where something shows up that you're like, wow, I didn't realize. Because maybe, as an example, like this is what I'm getting as an example, is like maybe you eat something and you never really put together that after you eat that thing that you don't feel good. And that's going to come into being shown, and you're going to really have like a spotlight on it, that wow, I'm really sensitive to this food. This is something I need to cut out or whatever, right? Like this is how I feel it's coming, like embracing the sensitivity. Okay, I'm unique. This isn't something I should be putting in my body, as an example. Of course, it's going to show up a little bit different in how your life runs, but that is what we're working into, is Saturday, and living with grace and being okay with who you are, because each of us are unique, different souls that contribute to growing this world. And we all have an important role here. And it's different. So what it looks like for you and me, we can't compare, because we're all here for different reasons and different missions. Hello, Manisha. Like number six. Number six, I'm not sure what you mean by that. But if you hang around, if you have any questions, I'll do a couple polls. But we're gonna do the last day of the week for this coming week. Let's do Sunday. So the energy of Sunday. Venetian, I believe, or Venus, Venetian, it's backwards. Galactic Council. So the Venetian Galactic Council, okay? This one is star beings, answer the call, time to shine. So again, just like the beginning of the week. So Monday, we had the presence, like we were really going to be connected, the I am presence. And if we've been working on aligning ourselves, this seems extremely appropriate that by the end of the week, that we are being guided, right? Because it really did talk about the astral travel over the week and being mindful and learning through this week. Because when we align our universe, we are going to get guided. We're going to be guided divinely through the most appropriate way. And it's going to be answering the call, time to shine. So you're going to feel that whatever you're going through, when you get to Sunday, it's going to be like that step to go forward, shine, and become that person you are. So that's beautiful. And then we'll be meeting back on Sunday, and we'll continue, and maybe we'll get more downloads from our star being friends when we meet on Sunday next week. So now that is the overall for the week each day, and it just gives you an idea of the energy. But however, I find it always really amazing when I pull the overall view for the week, and then we do the dailies, and how each of those days do very much align with the overall energy. And if you weren't here at the beginning, to remind you how the week is going to lay out, I'm not going to go over each day, but I'm going to go over the energy. The overall energy of this week is mindful wisdom. We're learning, we're seeing the truth, we're getting a little more clarity. It's creating inner harmony as well. So it's that connection, balance. Then we get to the background energy, which is astral travel. And there's a little note of caution needed. Be mindful, be aware of what you're dreaming, maybe track them, that type of stuff. You're going to get lots of downloads. That shows up through this week. There's going to be downloads. There's going to be learnings to be had. Then we have the potential outcome is life is going to bring us new meaning. We're going to kind of go through a little bit of a dark night of the soul. I often feel like this is like where you're like, no, this is not real. Oh my God, I have to disassociate from it. And then you're stronger from the end of that, right? So it's really bringing something new, but we're going to have to let go of something old, right? And that's going to be the outcome. But the most important thing for us this week is to get in alignment as much as possible in the way that works for you. Whether it's getting outside and grounding, meditating, just sitting, praying, putting out your intention. Get yourself and put that intention that you are aligned with your divine guides and those that are assisting you through this journey, especially during this time. Now that we've done all of this, if there is anybody that would like a question, I'll pull a question for maybe one or two people in the chat if you are interested. So just send me a question in the chat, and I'll see if anybody does have any questions. In the meantime, one of the things I wanted to share with you, and I've shared this on a few of my videos. I am working currently on building a chat, and this is a very spiritually aligned chat. And I'm going to be looking for people that are going to want to test some of the apps that I'm building and test working with this chat that I am working with and developing. So if this is something that you're interested in, I will be putting this out, and as I get closer and closer and ready to share this chat with the world, I will be looking for people to test it. So I'm putting that out there now into the world and into the consciousness. So if that is something that you are called to or interested in, watch for the coming recruitment for people to try out and test it. And especially if you do like astrology, predictions, where you see the energy going, this is going to be a perfect thing for you. And if you really also believe in the ability for us to all divinely create together, us and technology, this is going to be a great tool for you. But it looks like everybody's kind of dropped off. I'll pull one card overall for anybody that has any questions, what the answer is. So if you did have a question, but you were embarrassed to put it in the comments, I'll pull one card for the overall, what recommendation for the questions that everybody has. Like, just what should we be doing, right? Overall, for any questions we might internally have at this moment. Here we go. You know, angelic frequency. Angels are here. You are safe. Potent connection. So overview, if you've got questions, trust. Your angels are here. I don't know how many times I can tell you this. I consistently get this. The divine's got your back. The angels are here. They want to assist you. You know. You just have to ask for it. And this is all, I am legitimately being guided to repeat this same message because people aren't doing it. And it's, divine's waiting. It's waiting for you. It's waiting for all of us. That's it. That's what I've got for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly do appreciate you being here with me. And I intend that this will help heal and serve you in some way as we go through the week. And I will see you for sure on Sunday. And I may go live again. So watch my channel. Please do like and subscribe so you will be notified as I set them up in my calendar and when I go live. So have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you all soon. Goodbye.